What happened while we were away? Brought to you by a rollback and a step in the right direction. The FDA is set to limit COVID jab recommendations to only those who are 65 years old and older, and some higher risk individuals under the age of 65. New leaders of the FDA and the agency's division that regulates vaccines published a commentary in the New England Journal of Medicine laying out their plan for future use of COVID jabs. FDA Commissioner Marty Makary and Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research Director Vinay Prasad argue that the United States recommendation for COVID jabs for everyone over the age of 6 months old is out of step with the rest of the world and likely no longer needed. At the National Institutes of Health, Director Dr. Jay Bhattacharya prompted a walkout from dozens of snowflakes for suggesting
it's possible. There's a lot of controversy over this. I'm sure there's folks in the room who disagree with me, but it's possible that the pandemic was caused by research conducted by human beings. And it's also possible that the NIH partly sponsored that research. And if that's true, it's nice to have free speech. Welcome, you guys.
In the Senate, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. lampooned Senator Patty Murray.
Senator, I want to point out that in 2021, at the beginning of his administration, President Biden submitted his budget on May. You know what? You made an accusation of me, and I'm going to answer it.
Okay, I appreciate
On May
that.
28th, he submitted his budget. So we're a new administration.
Okay, you can go
And I
down
also
that
want to
road.
point
I
out.
have just 2 minutes left. I asked you a specific
I want to
question.
point out something, Senator. You presided here, I think, for 32 years. You presided over the destruction of the health of the American people.
Well,
Our people are now the
Mr.
sickest people in the
Secretary,
world.
seriously.
Because you have
Mr.
not done your
Secretary,
job.
Seriously. That is an
What have you
amazing
done about it? What have you
Mr.
done about the
Secretary,
epidemic
I am here
of
to
chronic
ask-
disease?
Mr. Secretary,
What have
are
you done
here in
about the epidemic
Mr.
of chronic
Secretary,
disease?
Seriously.
U.S. Department of Justice has opened a criminal investigation into former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo for allegedly lying to Congress about his decisions that he made as governor during the COVID-19 pandemic. At issue is Cuomo's truthfulness regarding his role in the writing and review of a state health department report from June of 2020 that underestimated the nursing home death count by nearly half. You'll remember Senator Tim Kaine. He was Hillary's running mate back in 2016. And yesterday, he attempted to grill Secretary of State Marco Rubio on the issue of accepting Afrikaner refugees from South Africa.
But I'm going to ask you, a well-justified fear of persecution?
Yeah, they thought that their farms
you
were
don't
being
think
burned
that
down and they would be
means
killed.
anything?
I think that's a pretty good justification for wanting to come. They're
Okay.
afraid for their lives.
And should it be applied in an even-handed way? That's an easy.
No, our foreign policy doesn't require even-handedness. It requires prioritizing the interests of the United States.
The phrase says you are entitled to entrance as a refugee if you demonstrate a well-justified fear of persecution.
No, you're not entitled.
So
You're
can
allowed.
you have a different standard based upon the color of somebody's skin? Would that be acceptable?
Well, I'm not the one arguing that. Apparently you are, because you don't like the fact that they're white, and that's why they're
I'm just asking you to
coming.
say that that would be unacceptable.
Well, no,
that
I would say that the United States,
a very easy thing
the United
to say.
States has a right to pick and choose who they allow into the United
Even
States.
based on the color of somebody's skin.
You're the one that's talking about the color of their skin, not me. These
You're
are people whose
refusing to
farms were being
acknowledge
burned
that
down
it
and they were
should be
killed because of the
even-handed.
color of their skin.
CNN's Joseph Goebbels joined Megyn Kelly, and the latter absolutely bludgeoned he and his network, deservedly so, over their blind eye regarding Biden's cognitive decline, to which Goebbels responded,
Alex and I are here to say that conservative media was right and conservative media was correct, and that there should be a lot of soul searching, not just among me, but among the legacy media to begin with, all of us.
Learning Chinese today. Today's phrase is, so that means you're resigning in disgrace, right?
那么这意味着你是耻辱的辞职，对吗？
And then there's this from President Trump on Truth Social yesterday, quote, Joe Biden was not for open borders. He never talked about open borders where criminals of all kinds, shapes, and sizes can flow into our country at will. It wasn't his idea to open the border and almost destroy our country and cost us hundreds of billions of dollars to get criminals out of our country and go through the process we're going through now. It was the people that knew he was cognitively impaired and that took over the auto pen. They stole the presidency of the United States and put us in great danger. This is treason at the highest level. They did it to destroy our country. The Joe Biden that everybody knew would never allow drug dealers, gang members, and the mentally insane to come into our country totally unchecked and unvetted. All anyone has to do is look up his record. Something very severe should happen to these treasonous thugs that want to destroy our country, but couldn't because I came along. Make America great again, end quote. And finally, I don't think we've talked about this, but former FBI Director James Comey posted on his Instagram account late last week, ahead of the release of his latest book this week, that he and his wife were walking on a beach and just saw a formation of seashells spelling out the numbers 8647, which lefty radicals have been using as code to ditch or get rid of, wink wink, President Trump. He deleted the post and was reportedly interviewed by the Secret Service afterwards. Well, this week his book came out, and at a signing event, very sparsely attended signing event, I'll add, Jesse Waters correspondent Johnny Belisario caught up with the former FBI director.
Why do you want to 86 Trump?
All right.
Director?
I'm not taking questions like that now.
Why would you
just sign the book?
Why would you post that? Director Comey, how was your interview with the Secret Service?
You want the book signed, really?
Absolutely.
Okay, you got it, bud.
Can you sign my seashell too? Which beach is this that you're going to? You find a Kamala seashell, 8647. This is a politically charged beach, Director.
I will. They will.
Come on. Director, the seashell? You don't want to sign it?
I do not, thank you.
That's what happened while we were away.